so you'll miss like 10 minutes of lecture to start the quiz, okay? Are we good? Are we scared, confused? Okay, so let's get the P2 homework out. I have one question on it. Yep.
What days are you going to be in for all this?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. So let's get the P2 homework out, please, if you don't already have it out. And then I had a question on one of them. Which one was it, Elise?
2C.
2C. Homework P2, 2C. Okay, so we've given two endpoints, 2 points, okay, 3, 2, point A, and a point B, which is 7, 4. Okay, we want to find the equation of the circle with diameter AB. So that means if I have point A right here, right, and then point B is going to be over here somewhere. We're saying that they're the two endpoints of a diameter of this circle. That was a horribly drawn circle. My goodness. All right. Point A, point B. Okay. So you get this 2 endpoints of a diameter, right? What's my formula for the equation of a circle? What do I write? X minus the x of c, the center, x coordinate of the center, right? That's squared. Then plus y minus my y coordinate of the center squared. That equals what? R squared. Yeah, radius squared. Yep, so we need to know the radius, right? We need to know the radius, we need to know the center. So how do I go about finding the radius? How do I find the radius?
Find the length of AB and then
Yeah,
divide
so
by
I can get
2.
the length of the diameter with the distance formula, then divide it by 2. Don't forget to divide by 2. So that would be, so diameter would be 7 minus 3 squared plus 4 minus 2 squared is equal to square root of 16, right, plus 16. Am I crazy? Square root of 32. What's that? Oh, you're right, thank you. Just trying to really scatterbrain, trying to get through this. All right, 16, root square root of 16 plus 4 is square root of 20. Okay, so then my radius is root 20 over 2, which when I simplify my square roots, I get square root of 5, right? So that's square root of 5. So that's my radius, so we're good there. And then what do I do for the center? How do I find the center of this circle? Yeah, so I gotta find the midpoint of A and B. So the midpoint formula, right, add the x's, divide by 2, add the y's, divide by 2. That's 5, comma, okay. So that's my center right here, and then I can plug everything in, right, and I get x minus 5 quantity squared plus y minus 3 quantity squared equals r squared, right? I'm not going to plug in r, I'm plugging in r squared, so I got to square it. Yeah, 5. All right? All right, any other questions on that assignment? Yeah.
So I have like a general question for square roots and stuff. What would just a square root of like, what would just the square root of 20 be? Because I'm kind of bad at that.
Yeah, simplifying square roots. Yeah, so here's how I teach it to algebra. Here's how I teach it to algebra 1 kids. Square root of 20, right? Let me do the prime factorization of 20. Should have done this in like 6th grade. So 4 times 5, right? This prime number, we're going to circle it. 4 is 2 times 2. Okay. So 20 is 2 times 2 times 5. Okay, I'm going to take the square root. Whenever there's a pair of 2 numbers, those go out. So I get a pair of 2's inside the square root become a single 2 outside the square root, and then this 5 stays inside the square root. Yeah, no worries. Any other questions?
Number
5. M is the midpoint of AB, find B. So we have some segment AB. Here's point A, here's point B. Alright. We have the midpoint right here, M. Given that A is 5, comma 2, M is negative 3, 6, and we don't know what this is, so I'm just going to call this x sub b and y sub b. Okay. What might I do? What might I do? Yeah.
You do whatever the m equals, and then you set that.
Yeah, so if I gave you A and B, you can find the midpoint, right? It'd just be kind of plug in and evaluate. So this is similar, but we are just given A and B. So like, we're still using the midpoint formula, we're just given these two pieces of it, and we have to use that to solve for B. So it's just a little more indirect way of using the midpoint formula. Does that make sense? So if I do, right, so M is the midpoint of A and B. So M, point -3, 6. That's equal to 5 plus x sub b over 2, comma, 6 plus y sub b over 2. Okay? We following that so far? So I just, midpoint formula, plugged everything in, right? And then the x-coordinates is technically two equations. The x-coordinates have to be equal, right? These 2 points are equal to each other. They're the same points. So the x-coordinates have to be equal. So I get one equation from that. -3 equals 5 plus x sub b over 2. And then I solve for x sub b. Okay. And then over here, the y-coordinates have to be equal. So I get 6 equals 6 plus y sub b over 2. Okay. And I can solve those equations. X sub b, y sub b, and then that gives me a point b. Does that make any sense? Okay, good. Any other questions? Are you guys able to just tear off the P2 sheet from your packet and pass it up? Make sure you have your name on it. Yeah, circular answers.
Circular answers.
You're fine. Yeah, I'm not going to be as much of a stickler for your class. It's nice and formatted. Alright, so we stopped right before the end of P3, am I right? So where did we stop last time?
I wrote it.
It's a no calculator unless you have accommodations, so just a little heads up.
Wait, no calculator,
Unless you have accommodations for it. Quiz. Talk to your counselor. Okay, so 6. Okay, thank you. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so number 5 on P3 notes. This is page 4 of the packet. Okay, so is 2 a solution of 7x minus 6 is less than 8? So what they're asking us is when we plug 2 in, does this inequality hold true? Well, let's see. Plug 2 in, 7 times 2 minus 6 is 8. Okay, 7 times 2 is 14. Minus 6 is less than 8. 14 minus 6 is 8. And 8 is less than 8. Is 8 less than 8? No. So is x a solution? It is not. No. It's a resounding no. Does that confuse anyone? Be baffled by that? So they're just asking me when I plug in x equals 2, does this inequality hold true? It does not. 6a, solve for the indicated variable. So p equals 2 times the quantity L plus W. Okay, so we're going to solve for W. What does it mean to solve for W? Get it by itself. Doesn't matter that we have multiple variables, we're just going to leave it in terms of P and L. Okay? So, 2 ways I could go with this. What do you guys want me to do first? So I can divide by 2. Yes, we'll divide by 2 on both sides. Divide by 2, that cancels. And P over 2 equals L plus W. And I'm solving for W. So the last thing I didn't do is got to subtract L on both sides. There we go. W is by itself. Okay. Yep. Part B. Part B, A equals 1/2 H times B1 plus B2. Okay. I'm going to solve for B sub 1, right? What do I want to do first? Yeah, we hate fractions, right? We can get rid of it by multiplying by 2 on both sides. So we'll get 2A equals H times B1 plus B2. Right. And then these equations are very similar. What do we want to do? Not the H. 2A over little h equals B1 plus B2. We're solving for B1, so we just got to subtract, got to get rid of this B2. So we're going to subtract that from both sides. Get 2A over H minus B sub 2 B sub 1. Is that confusing? We'll get lost. Okay. So now part C. B equals 4/3 pi r cubed. There it is. Drag fringe. See how it's already changed. Right. C. So B equals 4/3 pi r cubed. We're going to solve for r, right? So what am I going to get rid of first? The 4/3 pi, right? Or 4/3. Let's get rid of the 4/3. So we got to divide by 4/3 on both sides. That's the same as multiplying by 3/4. Okay. And 3/4 times 4/3 is 1, so I have 3/4 b equals pi r cubed. What do I want to do next? Divide by pi. I get 3 over 4 pi. b equals r cubed. I've almost got r by itself, right? What do I got to get rid of? Little pesky little exponent, right? How might I do that? Cube root, yeah. So I think the easiest way, so I want this 3 to be a 1, right? I want that to become a 1. What do I have to multiply 3 by to get 1? 1/3. So 3 times what equals 1? 1/3, yep. So I'm going to raise both sides to the 1/3. Right over here, r cubed to the 1/3, that just equals r. So I'm going to have r on the right side. The left side I'm going to have 3/4. I'm fine if we just leave it like this. 3 over 4 pi b to the 1/3. Yeah, yep. I'm fine with that. Okay. B is lost. Again, we get lost. Let's put the track. All right, part D. Where? In the back. Next. Oh, I thought we were already. So D, C equals 5/9 f minus 32. We're going to solve it for f. Okay, we're going to solve for f. What might I want to do first? Multiply by 9/5. Okay. On both sides. That gets rid of my fractions. We all hate working with fractions, so I don't have to do that anymore. Okay. 9/5. C equals f minus 32. Okay. I'm solving for f. Okay, let's not forget where we're going. Okay. So I gotta get rid of this little minus 32 over here, so I'm just gonna add 32 to both sides. 9/5 c plus 32 equals f.
Tomorrow we can have this equation. Like, circle.
No, just memorize that. No. There's no formula sheet on the quiz, so. No, there'll be review sheets for tests, but not quizzes. We're gonna have a quiz every week. So the best way to review is just the homework. The homework. Quiz is, it took me 5 minutes to do, so I'm gonna give you guys 20. And I think it's like 8 problems. Sorry. Yeah.
So it's gonna be like 2 problems for each section, 2, 3.
Yeah, it'll be like, yeah.
If we come into Austin, I think you do something.
Oh yeah. All right. Number 1, part A. Find the slope of line AB. Anyone remember how to do this from algebra 1? All right. So we got point A, 3, 2. Point B, 7, -1. And then what's my slope formula from algebra 1? That's slope-intercept form. So that's like the form of an equation. Well, how do you find, like, what's the formula for just the slope? Close, yeah, so it's m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. How can we remember this? Slope is what? Rise over 1, right? Rise over run. Rise over x. Slope is rise, right? Rise, the difference between my y's over my run, difference between my x's. Rise over run. Rise over run. And now you guys are all going to remember me saying rise over run in the quiz. And you'll be like, oh, that's right. He said rise over run. Okay, so here's my x sub 1, here's my y sub 1, and it doesn't matter which ones you make x1, y1, or which one's x2, y2, you just have to be consistent. So this has to be x2, y2, right? So I chose this as point 1, so I made this x1, I made that y1, I made this x2, I made that y2. Okay. So then I'm going to plug in m equals y2, so -1 minus y1, 2, which is 2, so -1 minus 2, all over x sub 2, which is 7, minus x sub 1, which is 3. Okay. -1 minus 2 is -3, and 7 minus 3 is 4. This fraction is simplified all the way, so my answer is -3/4. Okay.
What equation is the y equals y?
This one? It's called just the slope equation. Yeah, slope formula. Slope formula. Okay, so that's part A. Part B, we got another 2 points. Point A, which is 6, 4. Point B, which is -7, 4. Okay. Get a label. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Okay. Okay, slope formula, y2, so 4 minus y1, which is 4, all over x2, which is -7, minus x1, which is 6. All right, that's 0. 4 minus 4 is 0. -7 minus 6 is -13. 0 over -13 equals 4. Okay. Slope is 0. It's a flat line. Be baffled, confused, afraid. It's okay if we are. It's okay if we got lost. Find b so that the slope of line AB is as indicated. All right, so this is similar to those midpoint problems we were doing, right? So let's just start with the slope formula. M equals y2 minus y1, or x2 minus x1, okay? Yeah, so they gave us a point A, 3, 2, a point B, 6y. They gave me an M, which equals 2/3. Now, they're giving me a slope, a point, and half of another point, and then they're asking me to solve for another variable over here. So we're using the slope formula. Before we were just plugging and chugging, right? We were just plugging these 4 numbers, evaluate, get M. Now we're plugging in M and 3 of these, and then solving for the 4th one that's left over. Okay. So let's start plugging in. So I'll make A. I'll make this x1. Could. I think this might be the fastest way. Yeah. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Okay. And then so I'm just going to plug everything. My M is 2/3. That all is equal to Y2, which is Y, minus Y1, which is 2, over X2 minus X1, 6 minus 3. Okay, we good so far? I have 2/3, so that's equal to Y minus 2 over 3. So I have 2/3 equals Y minus 2 over 3. Now we're in algebra 1 layer. This is your mojo. Yeah, solving for Y, I'm just going to solve for Y. What do I want to do first? Get rid of the bottom denominator by multiplying by 3 on both sides. 2 equals Y minus 2. Y equals 4. Okay, and so then point B is 6, 4. Okay. Let's do part B. Okay. Baffled, lost, confused, afraid. Yeah.
I think it minus 2 over 3, never mind.
Oh yeah. So we have point A, which is 4, -8. Point B, which is x, -2. M equals -3/8. All right. Slope formula, I'm just going to start plugging stuff in. So for M, I know my M, it's -3/8. Right? I'm going to assign x1 to this x coordinate, my A point. Y1 to the y coordinate of my A point, and then this will be x2, y2. So I'm going to start plugging in. Okay, so -2 is my y2, my y1 is -8, so minus -8. All over x2 minus x1, so x minus 4. Okay. Minus -8 is the same as plus +8, so I have 6 over x minus 4 equals -3/8. Okay. What might I do next? Want to get my x out of the denominator, right? So I want to get my x out of the denominator. So I'm going to multiply by x minus 4 on both sides. This cancels out, so I have -3/8 times x minus 4 equals 6. I want to get my x by itself. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this -3/8 next by multiplying by -8 over 3. Sorry, you got it on your way. Multiply by -8/3 on both sides. I get x minus 4. Let me move over here. So I'm just gonna, taking my math, and I want people to back to be able to see, so I'm gonna move up here. So now I have, these cancel out, I have x minus 4 equals 6 times negative 8 over 3, which is negative 48 over 3, which is negative 16. Right? So 6 times negative 8 over 3 is negative 16.
You just did that all in your head?
Yeah, for you guys know how to cross simplify fractions? So if I do,
What's the answer?
yeah. So if you're doing that, that's what I just did. Right? You know how to cross simplify? So 3 and 6 have common factors of what? 3, right? So if I divide this by 3, I get 1. If I divide this by 3, I get 2. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's cross simplifying, makes it a little easier. Worst comes to worst on a quiz, you would know that 6 times negative 8 is negative 48, and you do negative 48.
Did you need us to do all that work on the quiz? Or
No, if you can just get it in your head, you're fine. Yeah. All right. So then, I'm here, and then I just add 4 to both sides to finish up. X equals negative 12. Okay, we baffled, lost, confused. Number 3, part A. Write the point slope form of the line that goes through the point 6, negative 2, slope 6. You're scared, you're afraid. They read that when they hear that. All right. You're not. So point slope is like one of my favorites because you just like plug stuff in. Does anyone remember point slope form? All right.
Y minus something.
Y1
Oh, Y.
equals m times minus x1. If you notice, this is just the slope formula where we multiply by the bottom on both sides. Okay, so x1 is like, x1 and y1 are like my particular points that I'm given. So here, I'm given 6, negative 2. So 6 is going to be my x1, and negative 2 is going to be my y1. And the slope they give me is 6. M equals 6. So just take this, slap it in. Okay? So I get y, just leave y as y minus, what's my y1? It's negative 2. Equals 6 times x minus my x of 1, which is 6. Okay? This becomes plus positive, so y plus 2 equals 6 times x minus 6, point slope form. Point slope.
Oh, that's like.
They just want the point slope form, right? Yeah.
Dang. Bro.
Yeah.
That's what we like.
Like, easy money. Money for nothing. All right.
Is the
Okay. Part B, okay, it's almost the same thing. They give you 2 points. They want point slope form, so you just got to find the slope first with those 2 points, okay? So I'm given negative 2, 5, and 4 and 17, okay? I have 2 points I can use, either of which I can use for my particular x1 and y1. I just don't have the slope, but I can find that using the slope formula. So I'm going to do m equals, if I make this y2, x2, x1, y1. y2 minus y1 is 17 minus 5. x2 minus x1 is 4 minus negative 2, which is 6. 12 over 6, so it's equal to 2. Wow.
which doesn't matter which one.
No, doesn't even matter. Does not matter at all. Yep. I'm just going to pick the top one because I already called that x1 and y1. So y minus my y1, what is that, 5? That's equal to m, so 2 times x minus my x1, which is negative 2. So I'm going to make that, it's minus negative 2, so it's going to be plus positive 2. There we go. Scared, afraid, lost, confused. gonna flip over. I'm gonna flip over to the page that's 5 with the circle. So page 5. All right. We're still doing point slope form. Part C. It's parallel to x plus 4y equals 10 contains 1, -1. So here's my point slope form. Here's what I'm going for.
This is on the quiz, gonna have the same.
This is not on the quiz. This is
Same slope, different intersection.
so. So here's my. Do I have a y1 and an x1? Do I have that?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it says contains 1, -1.
Wait, you just wrote point slope.
This is point slope form. Yeah. Sorry. Let me. It's a good idea. I need to label it.
So we can use that for this.
Yep.
Questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might not provide on the quiz. You'll have to remember it. But point slope form right here. It's a big one. So I have my x1 and my y1, right? Here's x1, y1. What do I not have? Slope. I don't have my slope. How do I get it? How do I get it?
Just simplify the equation.
Yeah, so I think it'd be the line x plus 4y equals 10, and I can get the slope. Someone was talking about point slope form. So yeah. So let me do it in my head. Let me do it on the board real quick. So yeah, I'm gonna the way I get this is I solve for y. So I'm gonna solve for y. So I get 4y equals 10 minus x, and I multiply both sides by 1/4. I get y equals 10 over 4 minus 1/4 x. Okay, and then which one of these numbers is my slope? I think Ben was on to this. -1. So the coefficient, the number next to my x variable, is my slope. That's my m right there. Okay? It's parallel, so we're going to take the same, it's going to have the same slope. Two parallel lines have the same slope. We lost how I got there. Okay. So here's my m, -1/4. Now I have everything I need to plug into my point slope form. So y minus y1 equals -1/4 times x minus, what's my x1? 1. Okay, so y plus 1 equals -1/4 times the quantity x minus 1. Got it. Got it. That? Yeah, so it's important to, like, and I make this mistake myself a lot, like read what they want. A lot of times we can get in the weeds of a math problem and forget like what they actually asked for. So let's go back. What do they want? It says write the point slope form of the line. That's exactly what I got. Stop here. I would not want to see you guys like waste time on a test or quiz, like trying to like, I don't know, write this in point slope form or standard form or find the reciprocal or yeah. Okay. So that was C. Part D, perpendicular to 2x minus 6y equals 8 contains -3, 7. Okay? So point slope form, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Do I have my x1 and y1? Yes, I do. I've got x1 right here, y1 right here. I just need my slope, right? I don't know my slope. Uh-oh, what's my slope? How am I going to find that? So put this one in slope-intercept form. So I solve this. I take this line's equation. I solve for y. I get -6y equals 8 minus 2x. Right, and then I'm going to divide both sides by -6. Y equals 8 minus 2x for -6. I'm going to split up this fraction. So this is -8 6 plus 2x plus 2 6x. Is anyone confused how I went from here to here? So I just split up. If you have an addition or subtraction in the numerator and then a single number in the denominator, I can just write them separately. So this became 8 over negative 6 minus negative 2 over 6, so it's plus 2 over 6. Okay? This is the same as 1/3. So let me simplify that real quick. Plus 1/3 x. Okay, so here's, which one's the slope of this line? 1 over 3. That's the slope of this line. And do I want the line, is so the line I'm looking for, so they give me that line, but I'm looking for a different line. Is that parallel to this one or perpendicular? What does it say? Perpendicular. So what's the slope of the line I'm trying to find? Yeah, so we take the slope of the given line and we make it opposite and reciprocal, so that's negative 3. So reciprocal of 1/3 is 3, and then we make it the opposite of 3, which is negative 3. So m equals negative 3. Are we lost in how I got to m equals negative 3? So they gave me a line, and they said the line we want to find is perpendicular to the given line. So I had to find the given line's slope and then make it opposite reciprocal. Okay? I have all my ingredients. So I have y minus y1, that's 7. That's equal to negative 3, right? Slap my n in there, times x minus x of 1, which is negative 3, so it's going to be plus 5. Lost, confused, scared. Okay. For this, you got positive 3, so let me see. So did I solve for y correctly? So do you see how I got to here? Do you see how I got to here? This is the slope-intercept form. Okay, so if you got this, we're on the same page. So when you do the reciprocal, when you do the perpendicular slope, the slope of the line which is perpendicular to this one, you do opposite and reciprocal. Yes. Yeah, opposite reciprocal. So the opposite, so like 1/3. What's the opposite? What's the reciprocal of 1/3? 3, right? And then what's the opposite of 3? Negative 3, right? So I flipped it and I changed the sign in front. Flipped it and I changed the sign in front.
And that's how you
Yeah. Right, the slope-intercept form of the line through negative 5, 8, with slope m equals 6. Okay, what's the easiest way for me to do this? So slope-intercept form, what is special about slope-intercept form as opposed to all the other forms of line equations? As intercept, yes. So slope-intercept form means I solve for y. I write the equation of the line and I solve for y. Okay? Exactly, yeah, exactly. So I have everything I need for point slope form. This for like, so like if I asked you, hey, write this in point slope form, easy money, right? Easy money, right? So I have my x1, my y1, I have y minus 8 equals 6 times x minus negative 5, which is plus 5. Okay? And then what's special about then, so I have this, everyone see how I got to this point slope form? That was easy money, right? Hopefully it was easy money. And then slope-intercept form is what? What's by itself? Y, yeah, so I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So I get y equals 6 times x plus 5 plus 8. Okay, and then I'm just going to distribute. Here we go. So I got y by itself. So if I have y equals 6x, little review, plus 38 which number is my slope? 6, right? That's my slope. And which one's my y-intercept? 38, right? Y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. Okay, 38, so this is y-intercept, y-in.
Okay, so you just solve these points.
Plug in point slope form, solve for y. For slope intercept form, yeah. Right? So the y-intercept is where x equals 0, so if I plug in x equals 0, I get y equals 38. So the y-intercept is 0, 38. Okay? Loss, view, rate. 4b, same deal. We're going to try to find the point slope form, and then we're going to solve for y to get my slope intercept. Okay. So I need to find the slopes, just like those other problems we're doing under heading 3. So 3, 0, 3, and negative 4, 0. So x1, y1, x2, y2. I need the slope. So I get m equals 0 minus 3 over negative 4 minus 0. It gives me negative 3 over negative 4, which is 3/4. Okay. I'm going to plug in with slope-intercept form. So I get y minus y sub 1, which is 3, equals 3/4 times x minus my x sub 1, which is 0. Okay. And then I just solve for y. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. I get y equals 3/4 x plus 3. There you go, slope-intercept form. Afraid, confused. Someone's very confused. Okay. So we got y minus 6 equals 2/3. Multiplying x plus 4. So we want it parallel to this line. We want it through negative 4 to negative 2. So we want the slope-intercept form of the equation that goes through here. So this is, again, we find point slope form and we solve for y, okay? So I gotta find, we know it's they give me the slope in a roundabout way. They don't give me the slope, they just say it's parallel to this line. So what do I need to do? Abby, you know? So what do we do on those other ones? I know it's parallel to this line.
Don't you enter the other forms here?
What's that?
Into the y? You already have it.
Yeah, you already have the slope. You just need to do
You just take it out.
Where they give me the slope?
You don't even have to.
I barely.
You don't even have to.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can write this in slope-intercept form for,
Yeah, okay. Now you found the slope.
To get the slope. okay, I already have the coefficient of x, it's 2/3. So m equals 2/3.
Where is B?
Okay, as you can see, everyone see that's how I got the slope. Anyone like lost? Right, I know it's gonna have the same slope as this line. I found the slope of this line by distributing the 2/3 because I gotta get the coefficient of x. And I got it, it's 2/3. Okay, and they give us the points, negative 4, negative 2. So again, easy money, point slope form, y minus negative 2. So it's y plus 2 equals slope, 2/3. That's wanting x minus negative 4, so plus positive 4. And then I solve for y.
I don't know. I can't. I think it's x plus. What's the inverse?
I'm sorry, that's my fault. In parentheses, my
Up
fault.
top, like y.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's y plus 2 equals 2/3. Thank you for stopping me. Yeah. So I'm just going to solve for y. 8/3 minus 2/3 is 2/3, right? Slope intercept. That's part C. Maybe keep your phones away, please. Maybe try to take pictures with iPads. Alright, thank you. Okay, part D. Part D, perpendicular to 2x minus 4y equals 9. It goes through 1, 2. Okay, so find the slope of my given line by solving for y. Negative 4y equals 9 minus 2x. Okay, divide both sides by negative 4, I get y equals 9 minus 2x over negative 4. Y equals negative 9/4 plus 1/2 x. Okay. Slope of this line is 1/2, and then what they want the line which is perpendicular. So what's my slope of my line I'm trying to find going to be? Someone say negative 2. Yeah, I'm going to do 1/2. Take the reciprocals, 2. Take the opposite is negative 2. Okay? So I got my slope of my line I'm trying to find. Woohoo! I got my given point over here, x1, y1. Okay, and I'm just going to slap it in to point and slope form. So I get y minus y1, which is 2, equals negative 2 times x minus x1, which is 1. So I get y equals negative 2x plus 2 plus 2. 2x plus 4. Okay, so I just skipped a couple algebra steps. Okay. Did we get lost? Anyone stop following me on that one? Which one? You wrote a 1/2 instead of a negative 2. That should be a negative 2. Kept the same slope, should be opposite. All right.
Oh, perfect.
Flip to page 44. We got enough time for like a couple more problems. Hold the foot. Precal, the old Precal book.